it won't be till after to the summer. So. Good evening. The paper in front of you will be helpful, hopefully, as we go through this evening, although I think everything that you'll see there is on the screen as well. We'll be looking at Proverbs chapter 31, really only Proverbs chapter 31 this evening. That paper is yours. You're welcome to have it. I was going to print it in color, and the last time I tried to print things in color at school, I tore the machine up, and I caught an evil look from the secretary. So I decided that black and white it would be, and that's what you all have got. So that's what it has to be for you this evening. So hopefully it'll still show up. Well, you can take it home and color it if you want to put color to it yourself. I'll let you do that on your own. This evening, we are going to be talking about the last chapter of Proverbs. It's Proverbs chapter 31, as we said. And we're going to go about this a little bit differently than some of our previous classes have been. There's not a whole lot in regards to questions. This is not really a read these verses and then answer these questions kind of a thing. This will be much more better, that's perfect grammar, I believe, if you will add to it. But I'm asking you that for a reason, and you'll see why here in a second. There are 4 different types of questions, and you will fall into only one of the 4 categories. And so any question that you answer out of the category that you fall into is an experience-based question. Any question that you answer out of the other 3 categories, you're just making it up, all right? Then you'll know what it's like for me to be up here all the time. You know, I got to jump into all these different spots. But Proverbs chapter 31 is entitled, for us, the worthy or virtuous woman. And we're going to talk about that here as we go through. To start with, though, we saw this last week. The book of Proverbs is traditionally accredited to Solomon. However, not all of the sayings are actually his, but instead are copied down. And we're going to look at that here this evening. Has done the same thing. Proverbs 30, which is not what we're in, but I just wanted you to look at it because you'll be right there in your Bible, is called the words of Agur, I think would be how you pronounce it. And this comes from a Hebrew word meaning collector. And just to give you an idea about Bible translation can be difficult, we talked about the word Selah a couple weeks ago, and how that even the people that were writing just 100 years or so after the Bible after Psalms was written, they didn't really know what that word meant, and they still don't even today. The word Agur means collector, and so they don't really know anything about Agur. And it's also possible that Agur, A-G-U-R, is not actually a person, but rather someone or someone's plural who had gathered sayings. And I was reading about this and how that Isaiah chapter 40 has some similarities to Proverbs chapter 30. And that's not the only time we see that in the Bible as well, where stories are kind of retold from one to the other. And so whether this was an actual person or just a collection of sayings, that could work there as well. Proverbs 31, which is where we're going to be, starting in verse 10. The first 9 verses are the words of King Lemuel of Massa. And we don't really know anything about any of that, who Lemuel is, and we don't really know what Massa means. Some has been translated as Massa being a descendant of someone of that name. So Lemuel of Massa. Think about how we sometimes read Simon Bar Jonah, right? Simon, the son of Jonah, or something like that. Judah Ben Hur from the movie back in the 60s, 1960, or it might be a location. And we talk about, Simon the Cyrene or something like that. We talk about people being from a location. And just the point of this to show you that there's a lot of things that probably can never be known about the Bible. But I do think, and I've tried to reiterate this over the years in teaching, that we have this tendency sometimes to think that somebody sat down and started at Genesis 1:1 and just started writing and just began and just worked away. And then at the end, put a period and said it's done. And that's not really what it is. It's a long collecting, gathering process. And a lot of the information is just unknown. Verses 10 through 31, though, from everything that I can read, are most likely accredited to Solomon. There are some people that would say that it belongs to this Lemuel, but I don't know enough about the Hebrew or whatever, but what I was reading seemed to imply that the writing style of verses 10 through 31 are a little different from verses 1 through 9. None of that really matters probably to most of you, but I do think it is of some interest for us. We're going to read the entirety of this selection. So it's Proverbs 31, 10 down through verse 31. So it's a little longer. I've chunked them into like 5 verse segments each. So we're going to read through. I'll call on you to read through these here as we go. Ben, do you care to read? Actually, you know what? Let's go women, because this is about virtuous women. And so, Ben, you do not get to read tonight. Maybe another time, so we'll let you do it. Mel, do you care to read instead? All right. Boo, do you care to read 15 through 18?